Hey guys, welcome to another video on my channel. In today's video, we are going to be taking a look at 3 new weapons we are testing on this weekend's test server. So I guess we're going to start off with the Halo first. As you can see, a light weapon which I put on my Stalker, and also some other builds which you'll be able to see in a bit. So what does this weapon do? It's essentially an energy shotgun. So think of the Gust, the Storm, the Thunder. It's kind of like that, except you don't have to knock down energy shields. This weapon actually goes all the way through. The way it fires is very similar to the weapons I just mentioned as well. And on top of that, there is a 3.5% chance that you will immobilize the enemy or lock them down. And that lockdown lasts for 5 seconds. So you can see here, I'm hitting the Spectre, and now they're locked down for the next 5 seconds. And I got out of stealth. They did hit me, so I'm locked down. You can see on the left side of my screen, there's a counter. Now, if I get hit by someone who has the same weapon again, you'll notice there's a notification on the left side in blue. So essentially, I'm immune for, I think it's 8 seconds that I saw there. But yeah, that's pretty much how this weapon works. I'm now going to show you clips of the Stalker, the Pursuer, the Patton, the Leo, and the Natasha utilizing this weapon. And I don't think I'm going to get into too much commentary here unless I see something that I really want to explain to you guys. But as far as what I encountered, I found that this weapon on many of the older robots actually gave the older robots quite a bit of viability on the battlefield. You can see in the case of the Stalker, I actually took down quite a few Spectres with this weapon because I was able to immobilize them, and although they could shoot back, it kind of gave me more purpose on the battlefield. So one thing I wanted to show you guys was the comparison between, say, a Pursuer Gust versus the Pursuer with the Halo. As you know, with the Gust weapons, you have to knock down the energy shield. But if you take a look at this Hetchy's blue bar, it's not really budging, right? So I'm actually doing damage to them because these weapons are going all the way through. It is an energy shotgun, so a very good example of how this weapon works. So one thing that you guys may be wondering about is, why do I combine the Dragoon with the Halo weapon? So my thinking behind, the Leo and this Natasha build is to use the Halo to freeze my opponent, and then to use the Dragoons, which is a very powerful weapon, to take them down with. So that was my thinking behind those combo builds, which may or may not work. I actually was thinking about running the Halo along with the Exodus, but unfortunately I wasn't able to get the Exodus on the test server. The next weapon we have up is the Corona. So the Corona is a medium weapon, just like the Halo. It is an energy shotgun. The difference between this and the Halo, though, is that this one has a 1% root chance. The Halo has 3.5% root chance. So a lesser chance of actually immobilizing the enemy, but it does slightly more damage than the Halo. So that's kind of how it works. 5% root duration as well. So I've loaded this up on the Doc, the Spectre, Balkazari, Golem, and the Rogatka. And I'm just going to show you some gameplay now of those robots with this weapon. So one thing I wanted to point out with this clip is that I'm actually hitting this player quite a few times with the Corona, but notice they aren't immobilized. I think they were immobilized by my teammate here, but it is actually quite noticeable. So I think if you are going to immobilize the enemy, it's actually better to run the Halo over the Corona. The last weapon we are going to be looking at is the Glory. So the Glory is the heavier version of the Halo and the Corona. Like those weapons, it's also an energy shotgun, range of up to 500 meters, 1.1% root chance. So it's slightly higher than the Corona, which is the medium one, but not as high as the Halo. And the way they've actually balanced this out is this weapon does the most amount of damage out of all three. So what I've done here was I've put it on the Carnage, and we can take a 3D look at this weapon. So this is what it looks like, and I decided to put it on the boa as well, the Leo, the Butch, and the Fury. So we're going to be taking a look at some gameplay clips of that, and there's also a couple of other things that I would like to mention as well. So one thing I want to mention about this particular clip was that the carnage wasn't really that effective. I know many of you are going to ask me to run this, so that's why I actually ran the carnage. It was effective at slowing down the players going to center, and you know, that can be very useful for team play, but you're going to see now in a few seconds here, I engage a Hechi at about 200 meters, and I wasn't really able to immobilize or take them down for that matter. So here we go, 150, 200 meters, and take a look at what I'm doing. I mean, I'm not really doing much. I'm not even able to immobilize him from like 150 meters. I'm still firing at him, and nothing is actually happening. So for me personally, it's not a build that I would run. In this next clip, I decided to run the Glory with the Scourge on the boa, mostly because when we get this weapon, chances are we're only going to have one. You know, what do you run it on? Boa, Leo. Those are probably going to be one of the more common builds, and I decided to actually do both of them. So yeah, the boa one wasn't that bad, the Leo one wasn't that bad either. Actually, the Leo one could be a big problem for, I think, Dashbot. As you can see, this Kumiho wasn't careful, and Leo with 3 Gust weapons can do a lot of damage up close. Something also happened to me on the test server, and I don't know if this happened to you guys, but you can see this Mender here. He has the invincibility bug, similar to what iOS experienced a couple of years back, like 2 or 3 years ago, which became actually a very big problem. So I hope they fix this bug before it hits the live server. So my favorite build this weekend is the Fury with the Glory and the Ember weapons. The main reason why is because on the live server, the Ember can be really hard to use sometimes, mostly because of how you have to trail the enemy. But now that you have the ability to freeze them up and then charbroil them to crisp, makes it that much more viable. But anyways guys, in the comment section below, let me know your thoughts on the Halo, the Corona, and the Glory weapons. And that's pretty much it. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to hit that thumbs up, and if you haven't yet subscribed, consider subscribing. Until the next video, I'll catch you guys later.